Hey there everybody, I'm Reload and I'm playing EVE Online. I wanted to come back to the topic of mining, particularly the question of whether there is more profit in selling the raw ore on the market or if it's better to refine it into minerals. Granted, transporting the raw ore is tough. It takes up way too much space in the cargo hold, so unless you're mining directly in the system with the highest ore buying price, it makes sense to refine it into minerals. But if your character is not properly skilled in reprocessing, that will potentially cut into your profits, depending on the market pricing of the minerals. So in a way, the ore has two prices. One is based on the speculative value in the market for the single unit of ore, and the other is the value of the combination of the reprocessed minerals and their respective prices on the market. It's easy to figure out what to do when it comes to Veldspar, as it's being reprocessed only into one mineral. But for all the other types of ore, the calculations get very complicated very fast. And one way or another, EVE Online is going to turn into Spreadsheet Online. But to avoid the hassle of making your own, I created one for you. It's a shared Google spreadsheet with a link in the description. And what it does is provide you with the current most profitable ore in the regional market of your choice, and whether you'll make more profit selling it directly or refining it into minerals, all depending on your character's skill set. It's meant to provide you with a basic idea of what to do, and you should always double check the results in the game. All of the prices are taken from EVE Central Database. The only input needed from you are your skill levels and the region that you'd like to see the prices for. But before I walk you through the spreadsheet, I highly recommend that you make a copy for yourself if you have access to Google Drive. You are more than welcome to use this shared copy. But keep in mind, if there's more than one person using it at once, it can mess up your results, since the entries are edited at the same time. To make a copy is very easy. You simply go to File and Make a Copy. That should put a copy of the spreadsheet into your Google Drive folder. And once again, of course, you're very welcome to use this shared copy as long as there's nobody else using it at the same time. In case you're familiar with Google Spreadsheets, the way to tell if somebody else is using the same spreadsheet is an icon right in the top right hand corner. In any case, let's go ahead and dive into the spreadsheet. To figure out the exact reprocessing yield for every particular ore, what you need to do is provide the spreadsheet with some information. So I'm currently located in Jita, and I know that this station has a base yield of 50%. Then I have the refining skill at 5 and refining efficiency skill at 5 as well. I don't have any reprocessing implant, so it's currently at 0, but if you do, you just simply put down the percent that it provides you with, for example 2%. But in this case, I'll just keep it at 0 to compare it to my character. The Jita station is a Caldari Navy station, and I know that my corporation standings with this particular corporation is 5.7. That determines the tax that's being deducted from your yield. So then I went ahead and I filled out every single level for my ore processing skill levels like Veldspar, Scordite, etc. Every field with the blue background that you see is the field that you have to provide information for. The rest of the fields are blocked. If you try to edit it, you will get a pop-up that there's a problem. So don't worry about somebody else changing the calculations or anything else in the spreadsheet. Unless you make a copy for yourself, of course. So the next thing that you want to do is select the trade hub. In this case I selected Jita, but you can go ahead and select Amar, Hek, Dadixi or Rens if that's what you're looking for. And the prices to check. Personally, I prefer the buyers because they prefer to sell my ore or minerals directly to the buyers. But if you want to play some market games or station trading, you can go ahead and check the seller's prices as well. It's completely up to you. And you should know that the seller price actually has the 0.1 ISK subtraction factored in, because you won't be able to sell the mineral at the exact same price anyways. You'll be subtracting at least 0.01 ISK. So that's the price that you would probably have, at least I assume that you would have if you want to sell on the market. And for the other thing is you want to check the raw ore max buy prices in whatever region you see fit. For example, I know Jita is in the Forge, so I selected the Forge region, but if you want to compare it to anything else, that's totally up to you. So once you've entered all the information, here on the right hand side you will get to see the processing yield of each particular set of the ore, as well as the value of the ore based on the mineral prices. For example, 1 unit of Plagiar class will cost 66.15 ISK on the market if we calculate all of its reprocessed minerals. So this information is just for your overview. It's not really useful when you're mining because usually we have to take into consideration the volume of the ore. And that's where this little tab comes in, the price per volume. Here's where you can see all the attributes of each ore, including the regional raw ore max buy price and the Jita minerals minimum sell price. It also calculates the price per volume when it comes to the raw ore, as well as price per volume when it comes to the component minerals of the ore. So in this case, it would appear that actually it wouldn't be profitable for me to refine Veldspar into titanium, because it will net me a little less ISK. Although this table is very handy for double checking the prices, which you should always do when using any third-party tool. You have to go into the market and make sure that the prices actually correspond to what this tool is giving you. But in this table, it's tough to see which ore is actually the most profitable one right now. So you can use this table for information if you're interested. But the main tool of the spreadsheet is actually this tab right here. Here is where you can sort all the ore based on the best price, whether it's the raw ore price or the component minerals. In here you'll find the summary information that we're looking at mineral minimum sell price from Jita Trade Hub, and the raw ore max buy prices are coming from the Forge region. Those are the prices from the market that are being taken into consideration for the calculations here. So now you can go in and use my preset filters to sort for the best ore. For example, we're going to be interested in high-sec ore only, and we're going to take a look at the highest raw price per volume. And just like that, all the information is being filtered. So currently what it's telling me is that if I can mine kernite, I will get the best price per volume for the raw ore. But I should not refine it, because the component minerals will give me a lot less ISK. This primarily comes from the fact that somebody has likely placed a very high buy order for kernite, which in this case is not really that useful to me, because in the Caldari regions, kernite is really a low-sec ore. I kept it as a high-sec ore in terms of the spreadsheet because you can still find it in the Amar high-sec. But keep in mind that kernite it will not be available everywhere. So the next best ore for me then is massive scordite if I want to sell raw ore on the market. But I can also see that if I refine massive scordite into its minerals, I will get a better deal at Jita. Since I have very high reprocessing skills for scordite, that makes sense. But if I was a new character, for example, and I'll have to change my scordite or processing skill to level 1, let's say, right away I'll be able to see that now it makes no sense for me to reprocess the minerals, because I'll get a higher profit when selling raw ore directly. Keep in mind that the raw ore price is not necessarily going to be at Jita, it could be anywhere in any system in the Forge region. So you have to travel to that system in particular and mine there. If you're a new character just starting out in mining, it's my advice that you always sort by raw ore, because more often than not, your raw ore price will be a lot better than the refined minerals. Of course, as you get better and skill up more, the mineral prices will start to increase for you. So you can also sort by the highest reprocessed minerals price per volume. And what I can see from there, right now, it's best for me to mine massive scordite and refine it into minerals, followed by rich plagiar class, fiery kernite, which once again will not be available in high sec of Caldari, then condensed scordite and dense Veldspar. Of course, you don't have to concentrate only on the high sec ore. You can look at all the ore available in the game to determine what you would like to mine and where. Now, in case you find out that the market prices are considerably different from what the spreadsheet is giving you, which could be the case, there's always an option for the manual entry of the prices. Here, once again, you'll have to re-enter all of your skills, as well as there's a way to enter the prices that you're looking for titanium, pyrite, and all the other minerals. Also, if you're interested in particular ore, you would have to enter the raw ore price in the region that you're at. So you can use these manual entries to get more accurate information on calculations. Of course, the manual entries come with its own sorted tab. Right now there's nothing in the raw ore price because I haven't entered anything. But it'll be working in exactly the same way as I showed you for the other tab, with the exact same preset filters. And finally, the very last tab is where you can actually double check the reprocessing minerals. You can go ahead and compare the numbers from within the game. For example, let's find some ore to reprocess. Let's go for solid pyroxeries. So here in this window you will actually find all the information that you need, or to compare with my spreadsheet. But let's go ahead and punch these numbers into the spreadsheet. So I'm going to be refining solid pyroxeries, which you can easily find on the drop-down menu. My reprocessing yield you can find actually from the first tab, and for the pyroxeries it's 69.07, which I already typed in. The amount I'll be refining is 60,227. So I can see that 27 units will be left, and now let's compare the numbers with the game. The numbers do match closely, but there are some deviations. For example, Tritanium is off by 8 units, and Mexilon is off just by 1 unit. These deviations are likely a result of a rounding error somewhere within the calculations. But they shouldn't impact the basic approximation of whether you should sell the raw ore in the market or refine it into minerals. I hope the spreadsheet can give you a good overview at a glance whether you should refine the ore into minerals or sell it directly on the market, and which ore you should mine in the first place. There are certainly limitations with the spreadsheet. First and foremost, the prices may not be as accurate as the live prices in the game, and the spreadsheet does not account for the number of units being available to be bought. There could be a very high buy order, but only for several units of the ore. Although the calculations for reprocessing are taken from Evilopedia, it's still an approximation of what actually goes on behind the scenes in-game, so there are slight deviations within the refining yields of the minerals. So as I mentioned before, the numbers should always be double-checked within the game. But you still should be able to tell at a glance which ore to concentrate on for the better profit, and whether you want to sell it directly or refine it on the market. If you're curious how I made the spreadsheet and would like to make one for yourself, please comment on this video, and if there's enough support, I will make a video describing how I did it in detail. Also, please, if you find any discrepancies or errors within the spreadsheet, do let me know. I will double check and correct if I can. From my own stress test, it was fairly accurate. Thank you very much for watching. I hope the spreadsheet helps you out. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more EVE Online and other gameplay videos. Fly safe out there.